Hi, so here we are again, and we received a lot of comments and messages asking for our age, our height. So we are going to make a video explaining the requirements for being a model.
Having a little bit in account that not all the requirements are achievable for everybody, which means that you cannot train height, for instance. So you have to work with the best that you have without risking in any moment your health. Which means that if you don't fit on the following requirements that we're going to say, which are fashion requirements, there are lots and lots of departments for modeling, like there's publicity, like there's fitness, there's curvy, so there's
Swimwear,
something,
underwear, so
there's something for nearly everybody. Those are the fashion ones because those are the ones that we've worked most with, and are the following ones.
let's start for the height. The height for girls in fashion, it's between 175 to 182, mostly.
And for boys it's 185 the minimum, and the maximum it's more or less 190. Although that, if your height is not this one, it's less, you can work on fashion, but like photography mostly.
Generally on runways I found girls from 178 to 180. It's the height required for fashion catwalks and fashion shows.
So now we're going to talk a little bit about the measurements. We're not going to talk about any means about weights because that's really relative, and we're talking about always catwalks. So for catwalk, I'm going to talk about the measurements about men, which are more flexible than women's ones, but it's more or less on the chest 98, waist more or less 75, and hips 90, 95.
For women, yes, it's very strict. For fashion catwalks, always. That not means that with more measurements you cannot work. It's not like this. So, but for catwalks, generally now the agencies ask for 88 for chest, 58 for waist, and 88 also or 89 for hips. It's not the only measurements you can have for work. Actually, we don't have these measurements. I don't have these measurements exactly. I have a little bit more so, and I can work also. That's not a problem. That's the measurements asked for fashion weeks.
Yeah, and depending also on the country, because normally here in Europe at least, Italy is the most known for the most strict or thinner measurements.
Also France.
Yeah, France as well, but here in Spain they are a little bit more flexible on that. Depending as well on the height, for instance, I was not booked in Asia because I was too tall, and here in Spain I'm tall enough for working, but in Asia they work more or less with 185, 1m85.
And you are?
And I'm 190, 191, so yeah, it depends on the country as well. So you can really work depending on the measurements that you have on some countries, and on others you will not. So that's always go to your agency and they will tell you which measurements are okay for what.
Also, it's depending on the client. For example, I have been working a lot for bridal brands. It depends a lot on the client, the department of fashion that you work in. So you never know where you fit.
That really depends. So don't focus just on some measurements. Just try to be healthy and go to your agency, and you will work.
In general, an agency is not going to ask you about your personality a lot, like your mental things. So, but we think that it's a very important issue because you have to be very stable when you start in modeling.
Yeah, it's not always just the physique. The physique is what you see, but you have to be really prepared because you're going to be judged in any moment just on what they see, not on what you are. So be really prepared for being criticized or whatever, and just when you're on the casting, take it seriously, but when you go out, continue with your life and leave all those things on working, because you can get really angry sometimes when they tell you something. Just be strong physically, but also, or even more mentally than physically. It
can be a very beautiful world, but also a very hard business. So be ready for that.
Yeah, just enjoy it. I mean, just be you, be happy. You will make great friends. We met in fashion, really. So just make great friends and have fun, and don't take in account or very seriously what they can tell you, because they won't know you. They will just see you physically.
Yeah, take it like a game and have your own hobbies apart from modeling. Don't focus all your things in this, because it can be very hard, but it can be also very, very fun.
In next videos we'll show you in which agencies you can fit better or how to build your portfolio, so be tuned for that, because we'll see you next month.
Okay, bye bye.